Silence is not emptiness. It is not weakness. It is not the absence of life. Silence is presence. It is clarity. It is the place where truth is no longer drowned out by noise. In silence, you meet yourself. In silence, you remember the voice within. In silence, you reconnect with the eternal. This book is not about forcing quiet on the outside. It is about cultivating quiet on the inside. Because when you can rest in silence, you discover the power it carries, a power that guides, heals, and restores. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of truth. Chapter 1. The noise that drowns us. The world is loud, so loud that we forget what our own voice sounds like. Noise fills every space, the chatter of media, the endless demands of schedules, the pressure to perform, the opinions of others. Noise does not always come through sound. It comes through comparison, through worry, through the unending spin of thoughts that do not rest. And noise has a cost. It leaves us restless, unable to sit still. It clouds our clarity, making even simple choices heavy. It pulls us in 100 directions until we forget where we were going. Sometimes the loudest noise is not outside us, but inside. The replay of past conversations, the worry about tomorrow's outcomes, the self-criticism that whispers we are never enough. This inner noise drains more than any crowd. It leaves the body tense, the mind scattered, the soul weary. The tragedy of constant noise is that it drowns the voice that matters most, the voice of truth within, that still quiet knowing that rises only when there is space to hear. Without silence, we live reactive lives. We jump at every demand, we absorb every voice, we become shaped by noise instead of grounded in truth. But silence invites us back. Silence says, be still long enough to hear again. Silence reminds us beneath the noise, you are whole. Beneath the chaos, you are steady. Beneath the fear, you are free. Chapter 2. Silence as sanctuary. Silence is not just quiet, it is sanctuary. It is the place where the soul rests and remembers itself. Think of standing in nature, the hush of trees, the steady rhythm of water, the expanse of sky. There may still be sound, but something deeper happens. A stillness that reaches into you, a calm that no words can create. Silence soothes the nervous system. It tells your body you are safe. It slows the race in thoughts. It lifts the weight from your chest. It restores what constant noise has scattered. Silence is where healing happens. Grief softens in silence. Fear loosens in silence. Exhaustion finds renewal in silence. Because in silence there is no demand to perform, no mask to wear, no role to maintain. There is only presence. This is why silence has always been sacred. The mystic in prayer, the seeker in meditation, the wanderer in nature, each knew the same truth. Silence is where we meet what is eternal. Silence is not withdrawal from life. It is restoration for life. It is the pause that allows you to return stronger. It is the sanctuary that steadies you to re-enter the world with peace. When you begin to practice silence, you will notice its fruit. Your mind grows clearer. Your words become fewer but weightier. Your presence deepens, and those around you feel it, not because of what you say, but because of the quiet strength you carry. Silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is where you rest, where you listen, where you are restored. Chapter 3. Hearing the voice within. Beneath the noise, there is a voice. It is not loud, it does not argue. It does not force its way to the surface. It waits, quiet, patient, steady. This is the voice of your inner knowing, the wisdom that has always lived within you. Some call it intuition, some call it spirit, some call it the whisper of God. Whatever the name, it is the same truth. There is a guidance inside you that does not lie. The challenge is not whether the voice speaks, it always does. The challenge is whether we are quiet enough to hear it. When your life is filled with noise, fear speaks louder. Doubt interrupts more quickly. Old memories replay more vividly. The voice of truth gets drowned out. But when you enter silence, the noise begins to fade. Fear grows softer, doubt loses its grip, and the inner voice becomes clear. This voice does not flatter, it does not shame. It speaks with calm certainty. It will nudge you toward courage, toward truth, toward alignment. Sometimes it comes as peace when you think of a certain path. Sometimes as heaviness when you are about to choose what does not serve you. Sometimes as words rising unplanned in your heart, reminding you of what you already know. This is the compass of silence. It teaches you to discern between fear and truth. Fear contracts, truth expands. Fear panics, truth steadies. Fear demands urgency. Truth invites clarity. To hear this voice, you must be willing to pause, to step away from constant doing, to sit long enough for the surface noise to settle so the deeper waters can be seen. The more you honor this voice, the louder it becomes, not in volume, but in confidence, because trust grows each time you listen and act. The voice within has always been yours. Silence simply clears the path back to it. Chapter 4. Silence in relationships. Silence is not only personal, it transforms how you meet others. Most people listen to reply. They hear only enough to prepare their answer. But silence teaches you to listen to understand, to hold space without rushing to fill it. In relationships, silence is presence. It is saying, I am here with you, without the need to fix or control. Think of the moments when someone simply sat beside you in your pain. They did not try to solve it. They did not flood you with advice. They just stayed. That was silence speaking. And in that silence, you felt safe. Silence in conflict is also powerful. It prevents words from being spoken that cannot be unsaid. It cools the fire long enough for wisdom to enter. It shifts the focus from winning to understanding. But silence is not punishment. It is not withdrawal to manipulate. True silence in relationship is spaciousness, not distance. It allows both people to breathe, to reflect, to return to one another with clearer hearts. Silence also deepens intimacy, because real closeness is not built only on words. It is built on presence, on the comfort of knowing you do not need to perform to be loved, on the trust that even in quiet you are connected. When you bring silence into your relationships, your words become more intentional. You speak less, but what you say carries weight. You listen more, and what you hear transforms how you love. In this way, silence is not distance, it is depth. It is what allows love to grow roots, trust to be built, and presence to speak louder than noise ever could. Chapter 5. Silence as creative power. Every act of creation begins in stillness. The seed rests in the dark before it breaks open. The artist pauses before the brush touches canvas. The musician listens before the first note is played. Silence is not empty. It is the womb of creativity. Noise drowns inspiration. It clutters the mind, leaving no space for vision. But silence clears the ground. It makes room for what longs to be born. Think of your best ideas. They often appeared not in chaos, but in quiet moments. While walking, while watching the sky, while resting in stillness. Silence incubates creativity. It gathers scattered fragments into wholeness. It allows imagination to breathe. When you embrace silence, you stop fearing the blank page. You see it as fullness not yet revealed. The pause becomes possibility. Creation is not forced, it is allowed. And silence is the space that allows it to emerge. Chapter 6. Practices of silence. Silence must be lived to be known. Here are practices that root you in it. Breathe into quiet. Let each inhale remind you life is here. Let each exhale release what is not yours to hold. In breath, silence settles. Listen before speaking. Do not rush to fill every gap. Hold the pause. Let silence speak first. It often reveals what words cannot. Return to nature. The stillness of trees, the rhythm of water, the expanse of sky all carry silence within them. Walk there. Sit there. Let them teach you. Journal from stillness. Enter silence, then write. Not from pressure, but from what rises gently within. In these words, hidden truths appear. Create spaces of quiet. Turn off the noise. Close the screen. Wake before the world if you must. Even 5 minutes of chosen silence can steady you for hours. Pause before decisions. When faced with a choice, wait in silence. If peace follows, proceed. If unease remains, pause longer. Decisions born of silence carry wisdom. Silence is not withdrawal, it is preparation. It roots you in truth so you can move through the world with clarity and peace. Chapter 7. Living as Silence Speaks. The gift of silence is not only in moments, but in the life it creates. When you live from silence, you are no longer reactive. You are steady. Your presence carries weight, not because of many words, but because of rooted being. Silence teaches you authority. It frees you from the pull of noise. It anchors you so deeply that storms may shake the surface, but cannot move the core. In relationships, silence becomes presence. People feel safe with you, not because you always have answers, but because you carry calm. In your work, silence becomes vision. Ideas flow more freely, solutions emerge without strain. Clarity comes where confusion once ruled. Living in silence does not mean mute in your life. It means amplifying what is true. It means speaking fewer words, but words that carry life. It means moving less frantically, but with deeper impact. The world is noisy. It will always be noisy. But within you is a sanctuary the world cannot touch. When you live from that center, you live free. Silence is not weakness. It is strength. It is not absence. It is presence. It is not emptiness. It is fullness. And when silence speaks through you, its voice is clear. It is the voice of peace, the voice of truth, the voice that has always been waiting beneath the noise.